Hello, fellow old schoolers. So this is the second set between my deck and the green Berserk-Atog without any intros, as this is a long match. So we both start up with a land and a Black Lotus, almost a complete mirror, and he follows up with a turn 1 Sushi. So he's already shuffling his cards, he knows what's coming. Yeah, I'm mind twisting his hand, waiting a single turn in order to get one more mana out before I set it off. But he gets a Volcanic Island and then straight into a Felber Stone, so he's mana fixed actually, and he's all in on that Sushi. We need something to stop it. But even though I have a City of Brass, I haven't got any answer for it at the moment, so we just put out an Underworld Dreams and continue to take the damage. There's an Atog, another City of Brass, and there's another Underworld Dreams. So these might set off some vicious combos, but I'm at 5 life and there's 2 Atogs and a Sushi, and I have no removal against them, and 2 Cities of Brass. But here goes nothing. As a Time Twister, so that's 16 points of damage in his draw step. And I have a City of Brass untapped, hoping to draw into a Lightning Bolt just to finish it there, because if I don't get it now, I'll be dead in the next turn. So this is an all or nothing play. Here we go. There's a Mox Pearl. And there's Lightning Bolt. We actually have 2 ways to kill him, also an Ancestral Recall. But he has a Lightning Bolt as well, as he can use that Felber Stone. And as I use the City of Brass, I go down to 3 life. So in the end, we just bolt each other at the same time. And we're not really sure what's going to happen, so we just called it a draw. So back to scratch. Trying another set, as this was a draw. And the Berserk-Atog mulligans down to 5 cards here. And Composition A starts up with a Factory and a Mox Pearl. Composition A being actually the mono black deck with 4 splashes, all colors except green. And it's an aggro Dreams combo deck. And his is the usual Atog deck, but instead of the blue color splash with Serendipity Freeze, he uses green for Berserks and Regrowth. So he puts out a Felber Stone here, and we're not really sure how it works, because Felber Stone allows you to get a color of mana the opposing player has, and I only have colorless mana. So I suppose if you read it raw, it doesn't give him any mana, but we just allowed it and said he could provide colorless mana. And so I attacked with the Factory before I put down the Scrubland. That was so that he couldn't do anything against it. For some reason I thought he played white for a moment there. So he plays a Sushi, and we just immediately solve to Plowshare it. So attacking with both Factories here. He was tapped out anyway. But he has a Strip Mine and a Factory of his own, so we should get parity pretty soon. We can force him to use the Strip Mine, and I think I like to do that here. If he blocks with the Factory, I'll pump my Factory and we'll trade Factories. So he has to use his Strip Mine if he doesn't want to take damage. The reason I do this is because I don't want him to Strip Mine my Scrubland at this point. Don't get any funny ideas. So he passes the turn to me. It's just a stare down at this point. So we at least draw into a Badland, so now we have the red mana splash, the red color splash, ready to go, and a double black mana. And that's important, especially the last part. So I sinkhole his City of Brass and attack again. And scratch that. I used the Pearl and the Factory to disenchant his Felber Stone, so that should put him into mana problems, but he draws into a Volcanic Island, so it's still in the game. But I wanted to do that before I got out the do some gin, but he just responds with a city in a bottle. This is the second game of the set, so we actually allowed sideboard here, and I'm not sure if he plays it main deck, but at least he gets it in after sideboard, that's for sure. So put out a Sol Ring and get some further damage done with the factory, and he should be reluctant with counterattacking with his factory because I have a red mana and a white mana against him, and he has so few lands. So he puts down a Blackwise in order to get some damage going the other way. And we just disenchant his City of Brass, and then here comes the second Yusam Jin. Really trying to pressure him here. So he puts down an attack. And I take a bit of damage. From the Blackwise. No, from the Yusam Jin. As I'm still below the threshold for that Blackwise. So we get in with the Yusam Jin. He's at 6 lives at this point. Puts down a Mox Emerald, and then an Ankh of Mithra. The reason he does this is because he can function quite well and just very, very little mana. He has a very low mana curve, and I don't. I haven't put down a City of Brass in order to get into blue mana here, and I do this to blue blast the attack, but he has a red blast in hand. So now I have to attack with the Yusam Jin, and now he can block it and start munching artifacts to get rid of my Yusam Jin. So he becomes a 5/6 creature if he eats 2 artifacts. But at least we got rid of that Blackwise and Ankh of Mithra. Though I took some damage from the Yank. But I don't like holding back with Yusam Jins for too long. So there's an Ancestral Recall, and he has a red blast against that as well. So those red blasts works wonders for him now. So we put down a third Yusam Jin, and we have a factory ready. And I actually have no hand left, I think. And he passes the turn. It's 6 life, and I'm at 14. So attack with the factory again. He blocks, and then he activates his factory with the Mox, and then eats the factory and the Mox because the factory is a 2/2 artifact creature. So it becomes a 5/6 creature again, and eats the second Yusam Jin. So that's one full attack right there. So we put out an Untold Dreams, and putting pressure that way. And then, as we have access to blue, we can put out a 7 Nibble Freed, trying to bait any blasts, and nothing comes. So we put out a Wheel of Fortune, and we also have a Time Twister. So that's the good old Dreams combo, winning the first game of this set. This is round 3, but actually only round 2 because there was a draw in the first match. So he gets a Blackwise round 1 in this set, in this round, and I actually have nothing speedy here, so taking a bunch of damage, and he follows up with an Ancestral Recall. Oh, that's a beautiful draw. Mox Pearl into Sol Ring, Blackwise, a Tug, and a Black Lotus. So welcome to round 2, turn number 2. It's just exploding all over the table. So we gotta discharge one of those Blackwises before it's his turn, because he'll just eat it with the attack and boost it that way. And we take a lot of damage from those Blackwises at this point. That's a Sushi. I got a feeling this is a pretty quick game. He eats it with the attack, gets 4 colorless mana, uses the Black Lotus, then fireballs my face, and then kills me with the attack. There you go. So it's getting trampled. Beautiful. So it's a 1/1. My turn. Get on Underground Sea with a Sol Ring, and he has a turn 1 Library of Alexandria. That won't fly. Luckily, I'm packing a lot of land destruction for this occasion, for situations like this. So we just remove it. So he follows up with a Tiger, and no, a Blackwise. Okay. Doesn't do much, as I have already cleared my hand and putting out an energy flux there to remove it. And now he's mana screwed, he can't get down his artifact mana. And my soaring just pays for itself. Got a feeling he'll get rid of that energy flux as soon as he can. So there's an Atog, but it's not that dangerous without any artifacts. And Ancestrals. Putting out a Badland. And now Dual Dreams. And again, I have sideboarded out my Hypnotic Spectres and Lightning Bolts for this game. Put in the Energy Fluxes and the Blue Blasts. So now it's his turn to play an Ancestral Recall and getting right back into the game here. Still, it does do him a bit of damage because that Undual Dream is out. That's the beauty of an Undual Dreams, that if you don't have an answer for it, even trying to get those answers will just damage you further. You can't get answers without drawing. So he attacks with the Atog, and I source the Plowshare. And then he discards his Time Twist and his Anchor of Mithra from the Ancestral Recall. So he's severely mana screwed at this point, but at least he got to dig further into his deck, and there's a Black Lotus. He plays it immediately, gets out a Chaos Orb. With the final mana he activates it, and then I disenchant it as a response. And that's the weird thing about Chaos Orb, that it has a condition that it has to stay on the table in order to work. So you can actually disenchant it as a response. I believe it's the only artifact you can do that against. You can't do it with a Nevinyrral's Disc or a Mox or anything else with an activation cost. So disenchant his Mox, and then I Time Twist him. So that's 7 points of damage right there, and he's so screwed at this point. So we cut a bit forward after the shuffle, and I drew my hand and put out a Mistress Factory as a land drop, and then I'm passing the turn. So he takes a point of damage from drawing, and at least he should have some mana now. But that Energy Flux, it's evil against him. Now he puts the forest back. There's an Anchor of Mithra. Okay, he just wants to... Yeah, he just uses it too. Because that would be a horrible play when he only has 2 lands and I'm totally mana fixed. But he uses it just to provide more damage with the Atog. If I were him, I would probably have just played it and then stayed back with the Atog in order to block. Because he's so much on the defensive now, and what little damage he can do, it won't matter much. At least he would. But okay, I don't attack. I put out a Dewsum instead, so it was worth it, I guess, to attack me. But he's hanging on for dear life here. This board state is, well, it's horrible for him. Now he has a Mox. Again, he can't. It's dead in his upkeep, but he can use it to pump his Atog at least. Now he wants me to block his Dewsum Djinn, eat the Mox, and then Lightning Bolt the Dewsum Djinn. But I just take it on the chin. Why? Oh, yeah, okay. Never mind. So he puts out another Atog just to jump block the Dewsum Djinn. It's fine. We just roll in like a machine here. That's the second Underworld Dreams. And then we attack, and he blocks the Dewsum Djinn and takes a couple of points of damage from the factory, and I sinkhole his Tiger. This is game. It has been for some time, I'm afraid. But he gets a City of Brass, perhaps? No. And he Lightning Bolts himself out of pure irritation. So we're up 1 game. Now he's on the play, and he starts out with a Black Wise. This is the final game of this set, and we take a bunch of damage, but at least we have a Mox Sapphire, so it shouldn't be so horrible next. But there's that combo again. I don't like that when it's the second round that he has a Black-Wise Ank of Mishra combination. So it looks like a disenchant here. Yeah. Before it's my turn, I remove the Black-Wise. And then I take a couple of damage and removes his Tiger. He draws straight into another one. But I wanted to hurt his colored mana here. Not really worrying about that factory because I have so many destruction spells against it. Okay, so he puts out a City in a Bottle. It's a way to land destruct my City of Brass, and then he attacks and gets Swords to Plowshare. But I'm in mana trouble here, and now it's his turn to be on the offensive here. So I tutor. Still no lands, but I think I tutor for an Ancestors to recall here because I have that blue marks, and we need to get some draws going here in order to draw into more lands. And we need to have it fast because each time we make a land drop, there's more damage, and there's a Black-Wise. But nevertheless, we just do it. We gotta move in now. So even further damage, no. Now it's a Lotus. You crack it, and oh yeah, okay, and I put out an energy flux. Now he knows I have lands, but he can only keep one artifact. So there goes the City in the Bottle and the Ank of Mishra. And that's why I couldn't play the City of Brass, because the City in the Bottle would just destroy it. And he actually had a Red Blast in hand. He Red Blasted now. I think that's a mistake. If it would have waited until my upkeep, I would lose my own Mox to my own energy flux. Okay, but he wanted to play an Emerald. But he could have waited with that until next turn, I think, unless he has something important in hand. Maybe an Avoid Fate or something. Okay, but there's a City of Brass, so now we have some mana and we Time Walk. Taking further damage from that Black-Wise. Trying to get into the game here. Another City of Brass. This is not good when you're at 5 life. Trying to Mind Twist his hand. Yeah, he had an Avoid Fate. So took 1 point of damage from the City of Brass, but it actually avoided 3 points of damage from that Lightning Bolt. Then he Time Twists. Oh, that brings me straight back into the Black-Wise range, and he even has a Tiger untapped, and he can draw into a bolt very easily at this point. So that was a very good play. So we cut forward a bit. Yeah. It's another Tiger. Black Lotus. City in a Bottle. Losing both my Cities of Brass and extra Black-Wise, and there's a Chaos Orb. Okay, so I'm pretty screwed. In my draw, before my draw step, I disenchant one of the Black-Wises, take a bunch of damage, and then I suppose I empty my hand here. I'm trying my best to do it. It's really my turn to hang on for dear life here. So I gotta Chaos Orb that factory because I'm tapped out. I have the white mana, but I don't think I have anything in hand against it, and it'll just kill me next turn, or it has the ability to do so. So I suppose we gotta do 18 points of damage before he draws any bolts. That's a Sinky Vampire, it's a start. It's unaffected by that City in a Bottle. And he Chaos Orbs. Oh, okay, he Chaos Orbs the Sinky Vampire, but as soon as he wants to activate the Chaos Orb, I Swords to Plowshare it straight up. So now I'm at 6 life. Now I can't be bolted. I can still be double bolted. Then a Divine Offer. That City in a Bottle. Get a further 2 life. And okay. This is pretty exciting, actually. There's a Dusamjun. So it's not over yet. It's not over until the fat lady sings. A little movie reference. So, here comes the Jin, his old friend. Okay, he just double bolts me. And the next draw step would be a city Sword Plowshare, but then I remember, after whining about it, I remember I had a Sword Plowshare in hand. So I just Sword Plowshare my Jin before it's my upkeep in my untap phase. So now I have 6 life, but no Jin. And I have a Sword Plowshare in hand. So yeah, I use the Sword Plowshare on his Atog, and he has an Avoid Fate against it. That's just an epic play. It's so rare. I see that. So we top decks in Underworld Dreams, and it just eats a lot of artifacts and then punches in. So that's 2-2 and a draw. Can't get more even than that, I suppose. Next up, Leprechauns. Thank you for watching.